Brothers, I want to talk about something real quick, man. If you understand these two words that I want to talk about today, man, you will never, ever in life, I don't care if you're 18 years old or 180 years old, you will never again have a problem with attracting women. You will never not have women in your DM that want to hang out. You will never not have women that are in pursuit of you for marriage and all this kind of stuff, right? And the reason I want to talk about this, I want to talk about what really attracts women. The reason I want to talk about this, man, is because this is one of the things that I wish the OGs would have talked to me about when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Because it would have saved me and a lot of my comrades. It would have saved us a lot of energy. It would have saved us a lot of time. It would have saved us a lot of our finances in the pursuit of women. You know what I'm saying? Because just like a lot of other people, man, a lot of other young guys, man, we bought into this whole, this whole era of, or a lot of men have bought into this whole system of women saying, oh, well, a man has to do this. He has to buy this. He has to spend this. He has to be this tall. He has to drive. Like all these things, and us as men have bought into it overall. So a lot of us men are pursuing women in that fashion, thinking that that's the thing. In other words, men are saying, well, let me do all these things, and at some point I'm gonna break through this area of a woman where now she just loves me because she understands that I want the best for her, and I do anything, and I go to the moon and back for her, and I'll go broke for, like, she'll know these things and she'll love me for it. But you have no idea, man. She can never, I'm not saying she can't have some love for you. I'm not saying that she can't never, that y'all can't even pursue relationships. But as far as that woman being attached to you the way you want her to be, the way you need her to be for that relationship to function, brother, we're taught all wrong, man. You need to understand two words when it comes to attracting women, brothers. Two words only. Motion and structure. If you understand that you as a man must simply have motion and structure, but the war is already won. Motion and structure. And you have to understand this. When you have motion and structure, it eliminates you from the category of men that have to do all these things. Because when you think about this, when you hear women saying all these things, like there are a group of men that don't have to move like that. We all know that. We all know that every woman that's saying a man has to do X, Y, Z, there are a group of men that don't have to do it. And the men that don't have to do it are the ones that have motion and structure. When y'all have the conversation about, oh man, well, she's still getting with the kikis and the da-da-da, and all these dudes that are doing this, dudes are treating her bad. They have two things. They have motion and they have structure. What a God. I'm gonna tell you, man, when you talk about grind, but they be grinding here. It's probably what, 4 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and they already out every day setting up their business. I love seeing it, man. Motion and structure. What do you mean, soul? Motion and structure, man. You gotta understand this. Well, first let me say this, because the pursuit of women is actually an indirect pursuit. You got two categories of men. You got some men that are in pursuit of women, meaning they wake up every single day and they're sniffing for women. They're going to their 9 to 5 and they looking at every single woman in her cubicle. They're going to every club and every day party and every bar on the weekend, just sniffing for women. Like that's their entire life, looking for women. They're always on the gram. They're always on the book looking for women. And what those men don't understand is that there's an aura that's coming off of a man, that's surrounding a man when he moves like that. And I don't care if you're 6'9", I don't care if you're driving 45 Lambos and 22 Bugattis. A woman sees that aura on you instantly. I know it's getting dark, let me get in some light. A woman sees that aura, a woman smells that aura, she senses that instantly. So that's why you have a lot, when you have men, and y'all, I ain't gotta ask. Anytime in life where you're in this energy of pursuing women, you're never getting women. And as soon as you lock something down, I heard big brother say it all the time. As soon as you get in a relationship, as soon as you lock something down, now all the women are checking for you. It's energetic, man. So going back to what I was saying, you have guys that are pursuing women directly like that, or you have guys that are pursuing women, which is the way we're supposed to be pursuing women, indirectly. And when I say pursuing them indirectly, I'm saying they're pursuing women by not pursuing them. They're pursuing women by pursuing their passion, pursuing their goals. That's what's really drawing a woman in. You know what I'm saying? That's the aura she's really looking for. Now, going back to the key words, when I said a man must have motion and structure, that pursuit of your goals is that motion I'm talking about. You have to understand, when a woman meets you, that's one of the first things she really wants to know. Or when she sees you on the gram, that's one of the first things she wants to know. Does this man have motion? Does he have activity in his life? Is he pursuing something? And that's what, I've said this, I use this scenario a million times. When you have the women that have the men, let me get in some light, man. When you have the women that have the men that are always in their DMs or always putting these comments up under their thirst traps and videos, they know these men don't have any motion, because a man that has motion, he doesn't have time to be doing that. So that's why, and I call them the bathwater drinkers, that's why the bathwater drinkers never make any progress, because a woman just knows he has no motion. You know what I'm saying? So, and when I say motion, you have to understand it's universal. And when I say universal, like, there are some things that apply to all women. There are some things that applies to the Saudis, it applies to the Mother Teresas, and it's this movement that I'm talking about. And because you got to understand this, on the lower end, on the lower end, when you're dealing with your hot girls, summer chicks, they got to have that motion, because if not, they're going to be bored in 5 minutes. So they're looking for a man that can keep them intrigued, that can keep them interested, that can keep them in that state of chaos and movement, right? On the lower end. On the higher end, a man must have motion, because even the virtuous woman wants something to pour into. Even the virtuous woman wants to be a helpmate to something. You know what I'm saying? And if you have no motion, if you have no movement in life, brother, it's like you're a dead man walking. Now you have to be the type of man that, hey baby, yeah, we're gonna be doing this, and I'm gonna be taking you to Jamaica, and the Birkins are coming. Like, you have to be that man. You have to be that man. You know what I'm saying? And the brothers that have the motion, the brothers that are moving towards something, they know this. They know this, and I can say I know this because I've been both brothers. A much earlier version of me, man. A much more ignorant version of me, brother. I thought I had to be like, if we wasn't doing big restaurants and big trips and like, I didn't think I was even being a man. I didn't think I was being a man if I wasn't spending top dollar on weekends. You know what I'm saying? And when I understood, and I found out kind of, I'll say by accident. I found out by being, I'm saying I found out by being just frustrated with my life and saying, you know what, man, I've been putting all this energy toward relationships over X amount of years, and look what it's giving me. It's giving me nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I say, you know what, man, like, I'm almost 35 years old, I'm almost 40 years old, whatever age I was. I said, I need to start pursuing me. And when I shut down and focus on me, man, my dynamic with my relationship with women changed drastically. Not only was it about women pursuing me or showing their interest in me, as opposed to me being out every weekend looking, a certain caliber of women started coming my way. It's kind of like little brother. Let me say, take that back. Not little brother. Young. What's his name? I think his name is Goldie. He kind of like a new cat on the scene. I've been seeing him the last year or so, right? He said, man, only entertain women that like you like that. And when I heard him say that, man, I'm saying, man, I thought I was the only one that thought that. So you have to understand, when you're tied to your pursuit and you focus on your goals and you're moving forward, the only women you'll be interacting with is the women that like you. Because you're not out just sniffing the wind and listening for, looking for any woman that's walking by. So you'll only get women that are moving, that are into you like that, man. So you gotta have motion. So like when I'm always saying, brother, you must know who you are. You must know where you're going. Motion. You must have some kind of goal, some kind of destination. You gotta have some kind of things in place that you're moving towards. Motion. And as I say that, I know y'all can say, hey, you know what? I can think of 5 or 6 of my partners that don't have that. Everybody knows guys that don't have that. And I'm gonna tell you this, getting up, having a respectable job, going to your job, clocking out every day, and going back home and sitting there cooking the chitlins and playing Madden 23 is not motion. That may be motion for a 25-year-old man, but for a 40-year-old man, for a 35-year-old man, for a 55, 60-year-old man, that's not motion. That's not motion. That's being alive. Motion is something, motion is moving towards some level of greatness. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying everybody has to be the next MLK or JFK. I'm not talking about being put on the side of Mount Rushmore. I'm saying your own level of greatness. You always pursuing something outside of your box. Going back to the Pookies and Ray Rays that she used to love back on the block. Pookie and Ray Ray had goals of being him, of being the next Nino Brown. You know what I'm saying? So they might have been a small guy on the block then, but they had goals of being something bigger. Motion. You know what I'm saying? So when you going to work, and that's a beautiful thing, but when you get back to the house, you gotta have a project you're working on. You gotta have some kind of project you're working on. Something you're trying to build, whether it's a book, whether it's you're trying to build a deck on the back of the house, whether you're trying to do something, some kind of motion in life that consumes you. Consumes you. That's a huge part. Let me speak on that for a minute. Let me make sure I got some battery power. Let me speak on that for a minute. You have to have something that consumes you. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, you have to have something that's pulling you away from that woman. What say you, soul? Pulling you away from this woman. What do you mean? Contrary to popular belief. Contrary to popular belief. Your woman wants to be in pursuit of you the entire relationship. She wants to be in pursuit of you the entire relationship. She wants you to be so focused on achieving something and moving on something that if she turns her head and gets lost in the sauce of the world and comes back, you might be in a different position. She wants to always be seeking the approval, seeking the attention, seeing what my man got going on. Because you're moving. When you're not moving, she's bored, bro. So you have to have that motion. So that's one of the things that a lot of women look at first. And if you have motion, all that Birkin shit goes out the window. All that I don't eat Cheesecake Factory, it's out the window. Because if you have motion, man, listen to what I'm saying. Let me say this before I go to the next. When I say motion, that don't mean you have to already be winning. That don't mean you already have to be driving a certain car, living in a certain house, having a certain. It don't mean that. It means you have to be going toward it. Because I'm gonna tell you this, I've had motion before and been dead broke. Matter of fact, this is when I found this out. Some years ago, man, I was dead broke eating ramen, but I had motion. I was getting ready to start a company, man, and I had just started a company. Straight Path Trucking, Tyler, Texas, man. And the woman that crossed my path, I told her about it. I said, yeah, I'm feeling you, but yeah, I ain't in position. None of that mattered, bro. She was sitting right there, man, eating ramen noodles with me on the weekend. We wasn't going to no clubs. We wasn't doing nothing. We was watching Limitless on DVD because I didn't have no cable. And we were eating ramen noodles and sharing Applebee's appetizers. You know what I'm saying? And in time, your boy got it out the mud, man. And looking back, I'm like, oh, I see now. It was the motion she liked, man. So don't think you gotta have a big bag to get the woman, man. Get the motion first, bro. Just be moving, man. Like I'm always saying, I said the 2 questions a man should ask himself every single day. Who am I? The second one is even more important. Where am I going? If he's not asking himself, if he's not asking himself, if he can't answer those questions every single day, he's in a bind when it comes to women. He's in a bind when it comes to women. So the first thing, brother, is a man must have motion. The second thing is a man must have structure. And when I say structure, I mean a man must have, I want to say it a few different ways. A man must, hold on, let me check on my clothes right quick, brothers. I know, like, washing clothes at 0 dark 30. Yeah, they done. Yeah, I gotta finish my video real quick. Don't finish talking to y'all real quick, man. Real close. When I say a man must have structure, this is what I mean. Motion is one thing. You have to be moving. You have to be pursuing something. But in that pursuit of something, there has to be, like when I'm always talking about a man must have a bubble around himself, or a man must create his own world. I'm putting my potters in the back. I met them cats earlier, man. Make sure to get some airtime, man. Brother subscribed to me a second ago. When I say a man must have a bubble around himself, or have a world built around himself, when I say structure, what I'm saying is, like, she has to know that, okay, he has motion, right? That's the first box. She has to know that when she steps in your world, there has to be, like there's a governing force. Let me get my camera right. There's a governing force around your life, meaning there are barriers. There are things that can and can't be done. There are limitations. There are caps on things. I'm gonna tell you this. A lot of women talk like they just want to come into a man's world and just like, I just want to be free and just the world is mine and I can spend money like I want to and we can just go, and that's the quickest way to get a woman bored. Let me say it again. Let me say it a different way. Once you get the bag, once a woman comes into your life, if you put her in position to where she just, hey, here, take my checkbook, or hey, don't nobody have no checkbook no more. But hey, take my card, take this cash, and just go be great. Just go do whatever you want to do. Just have fun with life. Just live your greatest life. There are no limits. Spend whatever you want. Come back whenever you. And you put her in that position where there are no walls. I don't care how much she has to spend per month. She's going to get bored quick. Because really what you're offering her is what she already is. Really what you're offering her is a state of chaos that she already possesses. When a woman comes to a man, she wants structure. She wants to be able to take her, God designed it like this. She wants to be able to take her chaotic way of living and put it in your structured life. So when she comes in your life, man, and there is no structure, I can act like this, I can be like this, I can talk like this, I can spin like this, I can just do whatever, she's gonna lose interest. She's gonna be looking for a man that has that structure. Because you gotta understand this, we always talk about how chaotic women are, and they are by nature. God made them like that. They crave structure. This is 2 things women crave, bro. And I know I'm rambling, man. It's 0 dark 30. I just feel like talking to my brothers. They crave that mission, they crave that direction, and they crave structure. Like they're soldiers. Once you really understand that the woman has a mind of a soldier, you understand. They may be soft and delicate, man, but women, the way they move is militant. They want to be pursuing something. They want you to be moving towards something, and they want structure, bro. When you understand that, all that other BS goes out the window. All that other BS, and I'm not saying there aren't other factors, because I'm just talking about attraction now. I'm not talking about nature. I'm not saying that these women won't cheat. I'm not saying all the other things that we talk about. I'm just talking about If there's a man in the year of y'all's Lord 2026 that is looking for women and still don't understand, like, man, how are these brothers on the gram and the book connecting with these ladies? And I got no action. It's because you have no motion, you have no structure in your life. You have no motion, you have no structure, man. And I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm gonna tell you this. Like when I said, it's either or. If you find yourself, this is how you know if you have motion or structure. If you find yourself, right, on the gram in the book all day, trying to see which women you're going to pursue next. If you find yourself in conversation with women, or even your woman, the woman you love, your wife, if you find yourself, y'all texted all day and all this kind of stuff, but you ain't moving right. Yeah, she might be texting you 20 times a day, man. She don't want to talk to you that much. Trust me. She would much rather you say, hey babe, hey, I'm gonna hit you back in an hour. I gotta finish cutting up this lumber so I can build a so-and-so. Or babe, let me finish making this video. Or babe, I'm at a stopping point on this book. Or babe, I'm at a stopping point. I'm gonna hit you back in 3 hours. Or hey, you know what? I'm busy right now, but tonight I'm gonna massage them feet and kiss that neck. They want you to be moving towards something. And I'm gonna tell you this, since I'm rambling, a lot of times, man, a lot of these women, I'm gonna tell you this, a lot of these times, a lot of these women are pursuing men that they're trying to get this man, but since that man is all tied up, he's working throughout the day, she's texting you, she's entertaining you. What you doing? Yeah, come bring me some lunch. Oh yeah, da. Because the man she really wants is out getting it. If I'm lying, I'm dying. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Motion, structure. Make those your watch words for 2026.